Welcome to a new episode of NBA 2K TV.
We're always looking out for community members that are helping you out, and one mode that has seen a lot of traction with the content creators is the W.
Yes, there are so many new features to look out for with the W in NBA 2K23, and one community member that's on top of it all is Amari. We caught up with her last week. Check it out. Here on 2K TV, we always love introducing you, the fans, to new people in the community. Welcome, Amari.
Hi.
Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. And here we go, the battle between conferences. It's the East versus West, where the Charlotte Hornets will be looking to make a statement. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad. They lost both of the matchups in this interconference battle a season ago. They'd like to change that now.
And it wasn't a matchup they fared well in last year, as they just couldn't figure this team out.
Plumlee with the screen. Rozier with the ball. Guarded now by Morris. And it's Rozier missing.
And for Terry Rozier, all of his efficiency numbers are way up the last couple of years. Here's a guy who was just 37% from the field during his time in Boston.
Now, here's Rozier. Following the miss by Marcus Morris. Back to Rozier. From deep. Bangs home the trifecta. And the numbers of Terry Rozier. As you mentioned, they're getting better bit by bit, Greg.
Scary Terry's three-point shooting is way up, and that helps big time. With experience, Rozier isn't forcing things offensively, becoming a much better decision maker.
Here's Rozier after the Clippers pick up 2. Inside, here's Plumlee, and it's slammed in by Plumlee.
And once Rozier spots that hole in the defense, he just doesn't hesitate. Just sends the ball to an open shooter.
George, no good.
Still searching out their offensive game right now. 1 of 5 from the field to start this one.
There's a screen by Washington. And it goes down 2 points. Rozier's got 5 now.
And we continue to see Rozier taking on more responsibility offensively. Nice finish inside.
And the dunk by Zubac.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now, here's Rozier. He has 5. 5 to shoot. The Clippers grab the miss.
There's one thing that's become clear about this Hornets team. They've become one of the best passing teams in the league.
Here's Wall. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Rozier with the ball. He's picked up by Wall. Rozier looking around. And again, Charlotte with the triple. And Charlotte's passing has improved a lot in the last few seasons. Greg, even more.
Yeah, their assist numbers have been terrific, and they keep their turnovers to a minimum. That's a trend you want to see continue.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, to the middle, it's stolen by Morris. And now the fast break, George with the ball. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
What a great finish there from Wall. It's clear he doesn't fear anyone when he's looking to score.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And when you look at Paul George, I mean, he's been in the middle of a couple monster trades.
Well, PG exchanged for 2 future All-Stars in Sabonis and Oladipo going to Indy. And in that massive trade to L.A., the Thunder got SGA, a boatload of picks. It just shows you how much value Paul George has. And trust me, he's very much valued by the team he's on.
Pass to Richards.
Great anticipation. He's racked up a few of those blocks in his career, Batum has.
Right side, Covington. Now George. Back to Covington. Here's Morris. And he converts the layup.
And he got a good look at the hands of Covington.
Now Smith. 12 points his last outing. There's the pick. To the paint. Here's Richards. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
That is all timing right there. Just led him perfectly.
Here's Wall. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Hornets lead by. And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. Looking at what we've seen from the Hornets, what do you think?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
I couldn't ask for a better one right now. Just a complete rhythm by all the guys who got some minutes. Wonderful start.
Smith feeling it out a bit. Driving the lane. Pass to Jones. Good D by Covington. And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for the Clippers. They trail by 1. Their next game, playing at home, as the Nets come into town. That game is the first and last of their homestand. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thanks very much. Now, you may not know this, but Gordon Hayward was a 2-time Indiana State singles champion in tennis. He says, in high school, I was better at tennis than basketball, but I've always loved hoops more. Thankfully, I was able to grow throughout high school to get to the frame I have now. He has certainly filled out in the NBA. Kevin, back to you.
Yeah, he sure has. He's been a terrific player to watch and follow. The injury is significant, but he continues on. David, thanks. And Greg, we're still very early in the season. What are these teams right now doing to maintain success through the year?
Well, this is the time for coaches to experiment with lineup combinations. And for the players, it's important they learn each other's tendencies and try and work on building chemistry.
Well, they're trying to take command of this game, but it's been competitive so far.
Yeah, everybody trying to get away from one another, and the threads are keeping them close. This has been highly competitive.
Pass to Batum. Here's George. The shot, no good. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Back to Jones. Covington with the steal. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. And it's Wall in the corner. His 3-pointers off the mark. All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Hornets.
Well, they haven't wasted any time getting into a groove from deep, putting up and hitting a healthy amount of three-pointers thus far.
Let's make sure that that selfish nerve doesn't get tapped, because right now there's great ball movement. They're setting each other up. Let's see if that maintains.
It's good to see Rozier improving as a playmaker. Passes like this help make his guys better players.
Here's George. Pass to Powell. Takes it out to Covington. Hands it from downtown. Covington's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Covington knocking one down and showing some confidence in his ability.
And since 1999, the Clippers and Lakers have shared their downtown LA arena, the only NBA team to split a venue, but that's going to change soon.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Pass to Rozier. Clock at 6. Plumlee with the screen. And it's the Hornets, another 3. The Clippers broke ground on their new arena, set to open in Inglewood in 2024. I've seen the footprint. You fly right into LAX, and you see it every time. It's going to be beautiful.
And that'll be huge for the Clips. They're trying to create their own identity in Southern California. Having a venue just for the Clippers will help.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Here's Powell, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That's on Terry Rozier.
An efficient score. Norman Powell can fill it up when given the opportunity.
He does score from anywhere on the floor, but it's defensive versatility that I think really helps him, because he can match up with smaller guards. He can get underneath bigger wings, and that defense really allows him to stay on the floor to complement the other offensive players that are producing.
Charlotte moving it around. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. The Clippers trail. Now, here's George. One of the most consistent producers in the league. He's averaging around 25.5 points a game.
Yeah, Paul George anticipating contact, preparing for it, and just how smooth the finish was that, Kevin.
Here's Smith. Here he goes. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. No shortage of drama here early on.
Yeah, 8 lead changes already. Huge number this early.
Outside, Jones. In the corner, Smith with it. 36 seconds left in the first half. It's deflected, and he's able to get it back. Just 4 to shoot. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. And they recover it. Martin wide open. He fires. No good with the triple.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Left side, George. Back to Morris. George up top. Over Martin. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Hornets on top, up 1. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the 3rd quarter underway. And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Pass to Washington. Plumlee with it. It's hauled in by Zubac.
We'll have a hard time shaking that one off. Perfect position, plenty of space. Just clanked it.
Brett, looking back, the Clippers have really put things together over the last decade.
They have. Injuries have been a factor the past couple of seasons, so they haven't competed at the level certainly that their owner wants to, but they're trying to keep this core group of guys together. And if they do that and they get health, there's a lot of talent there and a lot of guys who've done it on the biggest of stages.
Covington with the bucket.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Hayward, left side. Plumlee. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. You know, it seems like we're seeing more teams, Brent, use zone defense these days. Not too long ago, zone was almost non-existent in the league.
Well, Kevin, you couldn't play zone. Even though there were zone principles in man-to-man defense, it used to be an illegal defense to set up in a 2-3 zone that you see teams doing nowadays. I'm very interested if the league does, in fact, do away with illegal defense and allow coaches to use whatever. It might do something in terms of producing more shots so we don't get stagnation with just threes all the time. We'll see if that happens.
Hornets trail by 3. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Oubre outside. From the arc. Hayward can't hit. On offense, here are the Clippers. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. And the dunk by Zubac.
Paul George doesn't just score. He can pass it as well. He's a great all-around player.
Well, in spite of the critics and the injuries, Paul George continues to produce one of the league's truly elite players.
How about this run, Craig, they're on right now? Wow.
I mean, they're just getting to their spots and executing, really keeping things simple.
And that one drops for him. Walls got the lead up to 7 now for the Clippers.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And you mentioned the injuries for Paul George. Let's see, GA, the broken leg, shoulder surgeries, last season a torn elbow ligament.
And I'm sure there are a few others, Kevin, but give him credit. To battle through and maintain his greatness tells you something about his competitive will.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Washington inside. Off with the layup. On the wing, Morris. He's got 5. There's the drive. Hornets with the rebound. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Here's Rozier. 11 points in the game. Here's Plumlee. And the rejection by Zubac. Pass to Morris. And here is Zubac. Outside, George. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets.
Hornets timeout call. And the dude running onto the floor. Mr. Bernard Honeybee. Let's give a huge hand to your Honeybee.
1:09 left in the third quarter. Pass to Batum. Shot clock at 6. Plenty of space. That one off the back iron and out.
I guess even he took this one of those once in a while.
And here's Smith. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Outside, Jones. Here's McDaniels. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Greg, last offseason, the Hornets decided to part ways with their coach of the past 4 years.
Always a tough decision, and this is a critical time for Charlotte. They've got a tremendous young core. They think their time is now, and they want to make a bold move with the new hire.
Outside, Batum.